Welcome to Big Ten Saturday Night, presented by Discover. It's the #3 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, on the road here in Madison in Camp Randall Stadium, taking on the Wisconsin Badgers. Fans are ready, and first-year head coach Luke Fickell leading his team out of the tunnel against his alma mater and a place that he coached for the vast majority of what has been an illustrious coaching career. Back here for a night game at Camp Randall. Here come the Badgers. And you hear the shower of boos as the Buckeyes take the field on the other side, 7-0. Once again under Ryan Day, just continues to have a high level of success as we go downstairs. Catherine Tappan with Luke Fickell.
Coach, what kind of carryover from last week's come-from-behind win against Illinois can you use to carry the momentum tonight against #3 Ohio State?
Hopefully a lot. You know, that energy that we had at the end and that fight, we're going to need it all tonight.
Tonight will be just the second career start for your quarterback, Braden Locke. What do you want to see from him in order to have success?
Poise, like he's shown in the past. Being able to take care of the football, and don't think you got to get it all at one time. This is going to be a long game.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Noah?
Thanks, KT. Halloween weekend here in Madison. Chilly temperatures on a fall evening of football. Marvin Harrison Jr., yeah, he's got a good role model that he can dress up for Halloween. JT Tuimoloau, a little sub-zero action, and Braden Locke, just his second start. He's going to have to play like a pro tonight in Madison. 86 meeting between these two teams dating back to 1913. The real part in all of this is that the Buckeyes have won 9 straight, including a 52-21 drubbing of the Badgers last year. The last Wisconsin one, you'd have to go back to 2010 between these two teams. 40 degrees right now, expected to cool down even further. Feels like 34. Very little wind in this one for Ryan Day and the Buckeyes on the road. Started 7-0 for the 4th time in 5 years under Ryan Day. He has just been stupendous, 52-6 overall, and 3-0 as the interim coach back in 2018. He has had nothing but success against the Badgers.
Yeah, he has, and his big key tonight is, hey, championship teams can't take a week off. They had a great win at home against Penn State a week ago, but they've got to bring their A game again tonight, and it'll sure help having TreyVeon Henderson back in the backfield for the Buckeyes.
Wisconsin won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. That means Gavin Lom will send it deep. Xavier Johnson, the grad captain, back to receive it for the Buckeyes as we get set from Camp Randall. And this one will go out of bounds. This is something that Wisconsin has struggled with, kicking the ball out of bounds a couple of times this year. That was something Jack Van Dyke had done and lost his kickoff spot, and now it's Lom who does the same thing.
Kick out of bounds by the kicking team. By rule of the ball, we pitch the 35-yard line. First down.
Larry Smith gets us the official rule, and now we'll see the Ohio State offense for the first time today. Might be a little bit different than what we've seen in the past under Kyle McCord now in his first year starting, but they're still putting up some pretty impressive numbers.
Well, they are. I mean, he's throwing the football extremely well. I mean, he's leading the Big Ten, almost 280 yards a game passing. Marvin Harrison, a superstar, but the good news for him and this offense is the return of TreyVeon Henderson, the home run hitting tailback who's missed the last 3 games.
We'll see if that can get the running game going to what they are more accustomed to. And on first down, they give it to him. Henderson breaks one free into the secondary and picks up 9.
The difference between TreyVeon Henderson and anybody else who has carried the ball for Ohio State is the offensive linemen in front of him know at any moment he could take it to the house. I mean, if they block a little better and he sees a little crease, Henderson has the ability to turn it into a big, long touchdown run.
Second down and 1, Johnson in motion. Low snap, McCord handles. Feeling the pressure, has to get rid of it. Good rush by this Wisconsin defense. Hunter Wohler, who is the leading tackler on this team, second in the Big Ten with 70 on the season, applies the pressure.
Yeah, they move Wohler around a lot. He's listed as a safety. That time he lined up in a linebacker position, came unblocked, and was able to get to Kyle McCord on the second down play.
The center, Carson Hinsman, a sophomore, the only Wisconsin native for Ohio State on the roster, with the low snap on that one. Brings up 31. McCord keeps, and he's got the first down.
Wisconsin was trying to get the right people on and off the field. They substituted late. Kyle McCord does a nice job just finding a little crease between his center and his left guard. Donovan Jackson gets the first down. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try to get the ball to Marvin Harrison right away here on this first down play. Here he is up at the top of the screen.
Coming off the game with 11 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown last week against Penn State. Fresh set of downs from McCord, dials it up, and it's complete along the sideline. Julian Fleming for another first down.
Really a beautiful throw. Timing, that's a long throw. The out route from the right hash to the left sideline. Perfect timing and ball placement. And Fleming was working on Ricardo Hallman, the best cover corner for this Badger team, but that was a perfect throw.
Despite the slight dip in scoring this year, this Ohio State passing offense has still been the best in the Big Ten, over 300 yards per game. Handoff around the outside, Johnson sets up his blocking, and he picks up 5. Time now to look at big shots presented by Nissan.
Well, with Ohio State on offense, TreyVeon Henderson, the home run hitting back. Marvin Harrison Jr., big-time receiver. On defense, CJ Getz, an outside linebacker, excellent against the run, and Hunter Moeller, who already forced the action with a blitz on the quarterback, Kyle McCord. Those two guys are going to have to play very large tonight for this Wisconsin defense.
Remember, this drive started at their own 35. They're now at the Badger 35, are the Buckeyes. Henderson, bounce it. Henderson, stutter step. He stopped in his tracks. Nice job going low by Jason Maitre. Third down. Ohio State, we're accustomed to seeing a dominant rush attack. It just hasn't been the case.
Well, again, they've got a couple new starting tackles. They've got a new starting center, and those guys are still developing. And again, when you take TreyVeon Henderson out of the lineup for 3 weeks, it affects your running attack. Their passing game has been really good, but the running game has got some catching up to do.
Big third down here for this Wisconsin defense. McCord, good pocket, delivers, too high, looking for Harrison, fourth down.
Little miscommunication that time between Kyle McCord and Marvin Harrison Jr., and it looks like Ohio State's going to keep their offense on the field on this fourth down play. Typically, those two guys are on the same page, former high school teammates, but that time, the first target for Marvin Harrison, there was a miscommunication.
Jaden Fielding, the kicker for Ohio State, season-long 41, career-long 41. Ohio State 8 of 14 on fourth down. This is 4th and 3 and a whistle.
Now they had to call timeout. Ryan Day went running down the sideline to call timeout. I don't think the play clock was down.
Ohio State, their first and a half will be 30 seconds and late.
So burns that first timeout. You saw the frustration from McCord, who slammed that ball down to the turf. And now a decision on how to attack this Wisconsin defense on 4th and short.
Wisconsin's defense has been good on third down, only allowing 35% conversions. Good on fourth down, 33%. Great opportunity right here to really get this crowd involved with a big stop if they can turn them over on downs.
And to showcase what they learned from their come-from-behind win last week against Illinois. They made plays when they had to in these situations.
The two guys you got to pay attention to here are Marvin Harrison and Cade Stover. Harrison's in the slot, and Stover is up top, the tight end.
4th and 3. McCord feeling it, goes down, ball comes out. Wisconsin looking like they can jump on it, and they do. CJ Getz punched it out, and it's recovered by Muma Jungmeta. Major swing for the Badgers.
Well, CJ Getz just beats Josh Fryer, the right tackle, gets to the quarterback, knocks the ball out, and the Wisconsin defense comes up with the first huge play of the football game. Back in Madison, a big play by the Badger defense. They showed blitz from two guys. Maitre outside is going to peel off with Henderson, and Getz just whips the right tackle, Josh Fryer. Luke Fickell said how they play in the first quarter was going to be huge in this game, and Mike Tressel said our defense has to force more fumbles. They got that happening on the first possession.
And now we get to see how Braden Locke fares, and it's just his second career start. Hands it off for Braylon Allen, who will pick up 4 on first down, but a redshirt freshman in a big spot.
He's an interesting kid. I mean, we met with him yesterday. He looks like an older guy, like he's an executive, right? Look at the suit and the hair.
It's just perfect hair,
he's
pristine.
Very poised. He's very mature. He's very meticulous. He loves the preparation aspect, and he's a football junkie. And so I think this moment will not be too big for him. He just has to take care of the ball and make quick decisions.
Right back to Allen. This is who they want to feature. This is where they want to win. And that fly ball does come out, and Ohio State jumps on it. Davis and Igbenogson right there to scoop up the loose change.
You know, you're happy to see Braylon Allen fighting for extra yards and using that big body. But sometimes when you're doing this, you have to really pay attention to take care of the ball, because Ohio State's going to try to rip it out. And they're able to rip it out, and Igbenogson gets the ball right back for the Buckeyes.
Major shift back and forth.
Looks like Steele Chambers might have been the guy that punched the football out, the inside linebacker.
And Igbenogson, who already led the team in fumble recoveries, with another one to add to his tally. Allen frustrated. Ohio State second chance after the Wisconsin defense once again this year held a team scoreless on their opening drive. It's Henderson, lowers the shoulder, picks up 6.
Ohio State, I mean, you just feel like it's just a matter of time before their running game kicks in. This offensive line, a couple new starters, but it's been the same group of 5 that has started all 7 games. And it takes a unit some time to build cohesiveness. And now that they've got Henderson back, I expect them to take off.
There he is again. Henderson up the middle. And it looks like he's dumped down about a half-yard shy of that first down marker. Kamoyi Latu gets to him first.
Well, last time they had 3rd and short, they went quarterback sneak with Kyle McCord.
McCord will throw. Over the sideline, it's Henderson in stride. Henderson splits defenders, and he's tripped up from behind inside the 20.
Well, they went tempo, and Wisconsin got caught flat-footed. They're just going to send him out on a free release, and nobody picks him up. They picked off the middle linebacker. Jungmeta was supposed to pick him up, and he got hung up in the traffic on the inside, but it was the tempo by Ohio State that fooled the Wisconsin defense. Nice call on 3rd and short.
Gains 31 inside the red zone. McCord steps up, looking end zone. Tipped in the air, incomplete. Henderson. And then it was Harrison, when he was locked up with Hallman, who has done a great job stepping up in that starting role.
Yeah, Hallman made a nice play here. He had eyes on the football, so he knew when it was in the air, and he got that left hand up and knocked it away. Really well played by Hallman, because he knew exactly when the ball was released and when to make a play on it.
4 interceptions on the season for the redshirt sophomore from Miami. Continues to get better, studies film at a really ridiculously high rate. And at 5'10", he definitely didn't have that size advantage against the 6'4" all-world Marvin Harrison Jr. Johnson has it on the end around. Johnson looking for space and tripped up inside the 15. It'll set up 3rd and short. Jordan Turner goes down low.
Second time we've seen that little perimeter run, kind of a jet sweep with Johnson. Inside running with Henderson, and the outside running provided by Johnson.
And you see Harrison back in there. It was McCord recognizing that he had the one-on-one in the end zone. He said anytime he's got single coverage, ball's going that way.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job of moving him around. This time he's out wide left. Again, Cade Stover, a weapon here in the red zone for this Buckeye offense.
Chip Trainum in there for the first time. He's got the handoff. Trainum surging forward, and he's going to be 2 yards shy of the first down. Jordan Turner, another tackle.
Well, this time Ryan Day electing to get points. All right, the last time he elected to go for it on 4th down, and the sack fumble killed the drive. This time he says, let's get on the board first. We're the way team. Take advantage of the field position and score first.
Jaden Fielding in for a 27-yard attempt. And it is perfect. So the number 3 team in the country puts up 3 after the turnover by Braylon Allen. Ohio State on the board first. Ohio State on the board first after their defense forced a fumble. Braylon Allen put it on the deck. Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator. This has been one of the main storylines of this team. So offensively high-powered under Ryan Day, really ever since he took over, one of the best offensive teams in the country. Then he hired Jim Knowles 2 years ago, and last season they got better defensively. They certainly were, but at the end of the season that tailed off, and this year has been a different story. When we talked to Coach Knowles, he said he wants this to be a place where the defense is looked at to win games, and they've done that through the first 7.
Yeah, they really have. They've done a great job limiting big plays. They've been solid against the run and the pass. The only thing they haven't done is taken the ball away that many times. That was only their 8th takeaway, but they have been so solid. And second year in the system, everybody is more comfortable. They're just playing much more naturally within the system this year.
They are one of 3 teams in the entire country that has not allowed a single play of 40-plus yards, and this touchback will allow for this defense to get back out there, and they controlled the game last week against Penn State. There's no question about it. Jim Knowles was pretty evident with us and clear with us that he used that as motivation, saying, hey, everyone thinks their defense is good. Let's show that we're better.
Well, they stuffed the run. They held Penn State to 50 yards rushing, and they held them to 1 for 16 on third down conversions. I mean, it's hard to beat anybody with those kind of productivity numbers on offense. They dominated the game, and they dictated the action at the line of scrimmage. And it's really this front 4 NFL future players outstanding up front.
Allen hit, gets away. Allen lost it again. Fight for it. Ohio State thinks they have it. Proctor's the first man to put his arm up.
Well, now if you're Phil Longo, even though they got the ball back, you got to be a little bit concerned that it's not in Braylon Allen's head, because Ohio State certainly is going to try to rip the ball out. It looks like he's got it protected, but a helmet right on the football by Jordan Hancock knocks it out again. And they don't have another option. They used to have Ches Malusi, their other back, but he's hurting out. And so the burden is fully on Braylon Allen to carry the football and to protect it when he runs it.
That was one of their main goals, was to establish the run early. Allen has chewed up yardage, hasn't protected the ball. Now 2nd and 6, locked to the air. Lost one, way too far out in front of his intended target. Igbenogson and DK were locked in coverage together, and a flag is down.
Well, there's going to be a pass interference or a hold, one of them on the defense.
Defense, number 1. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
It is Igbenogson.
I think this is a break for Wisconsin because there was a miscommunication on the route. You can see the receiver breaking out, DK, and the ball was thrown down the field like he was going on a go route, but the hold occurred, and an automatic first down now for the Badger offense.
And we were wondering how Braden Locke would respond. He had such a great finish to the game last week, led his team back from a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. This is a completely different beast in front of him back at home.
Well, so far his poise looks good.
Back to the ground, back to Allen. And he stood up after a gain of 2. Let's take another look at big shots presented by Nissan.
Well, for the defense of Ohio State, Tyleik Williams on the inside. Denzel Burke, their best corner, back off the injury list. He's back in the lineup. And Braylon Allen, and we've already seen him put it on the deck, but he has to be huge for them tonight in order to have a chance to win. And slot receiver Will Pauling.
Locke fires. Incomplete through the hands of DK. Locke coming off a game with 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's Phil Longo, first-year offensive coordinator here after stops at Ole Miss and UNC most recently. Great football coach.
Yeah, really creative offensive guy. They haven't got the explosive pass plays in the offense so far, but he'll get it done here. Will Pauling on 3rd down is the key guy, number 6 here in the slot.
3rd and 7. Locke. Bennett down at the line. Tyleik Williams got a hand on it.
Yeah, nice job by Williams. He's been the leading tackler of all the defensive linemen, 6 tackles for loss. This time he knows he can't get to the quarterback, but he has eyes on him. He gets a hand up and knocks the pass down.
Williams now with his 5th PBU of the season. That's something that you don't see all that often from big boys up front. So it'll bring up Atticus Bertrams. The Australian punter will send it deep. And just gets it off. Flag is down after he releases. Ballard looking to make something happen for Ohio State and ushered out of bounds just shy of the 20. We'll see what the penalty is. For the time being, a 45-yard punt, 5-yard return, and Larry Smith will have a conference to confirm. Williams also leading the team. Ohio State 6 tackles for losses. Braden Locke knew that this pressure would be coming. You'd see a lot of blitzing from this team. You'd see a lot of different coverages. Talked about getting it out quickly.
Illegal formation. Kicking team, 5 in the backfield. Ohio State will take that penalty at the end of the kick. 5 yards, first down, timeout.
Third shot for the Ohio State offense when we return in Madison. Big Ten Saturday Night is brought to you by Chili's 3 for Me. If you leave hungry, that's on you. By Progressive Insurance, the right call for your home and car. And by the Xfinity 10G Network, made for streaming live sports. Well, these two teams have met 3 times in the Big Ten Championship, most recently 2019 in Ryan Day's first full season as the Ohio State head coach, and Ohio State would defeat Wisconsin 34-21. All 3 of those are Ohio State victories. And now Wisconsin looking for a little get back to upset the number 3 team in the country. Got the turnover early, couldn't cash in. Now Ohio State already up 3-0. Back out to operate offensively. McCord on play action to the outside, and another completion to Julian Fleming. Pick up about 5.
Fleming getting up a little bit bothered at the end of that play, asking to come out right now. Landed a little funny at the end of that catch. This is a guy that was a 5-star recruit, highly recruited, highly regarded, but he's had shoulder issues for most of his career. A pretty good season this year, especially with Ibuka out for several games.
Ibuka is available, but we've yet to see him so far tonight as Henderson swallowed up in that pile.
A really nice play by Jordan Turner, the inside linebacker, came on a run blitz, got penetration into the backfield, and stopped that for no gain. And 3rd and long now for Kyle McCord in the Buckeye offense.
Fleming back out there. Henderson splits wide. McCord surveys, fires, incomplete, again in the direction of Harrison, and Ricardo Hallman has taken that challenge.
Well, Hallman's in good position, but this is not a very good throw by Kyle McCord. Because of the big body of Harrison, he's kind of got the defender shielded, but the ball is thrown too far to the sideline, and it doesn't really even give Marvin a chance to make the play. Now, Hallman's right hand was around the receiver, but the ball was not close enough to even draw a call.
So we'll bring out Jesse Mirko for the first time today. Chimere Dike back to receive it for Wisconsin. Dike evades. Dike splits the seam. Dike shimmy shake inside the 40. Big time return for Chimere Dike.
Well, you know it's going to be tough going against this Ohio State defense, so any opportunity to shorten the field, you'll take. And DK does a beautiful job of just getting upfield and going north and south. I mean, took it, until he found a crease, and then straight up the field, picking up some good blocks, breaking some tackles, and Wisconsin on the Ohio State side of the 50-yard line after that nice return.
Longest of the season for DK and this team, 35 yards after a 43-yard boot. And now the Badgers in business. Play action, lock, lofts it, looking towards the end zone, incomplete. C.J. Williams, the intended target, and Igbinosun back there deep.
Yeah, great coverage by Igbinosun because they tried to go a pump fake, kind of an out-and-up move, and Igbinosun was not buying it at all. They faked there, and he's in perfect position, just rides the receiver out to the sideline. Perfect position and coverage by the transfer from Ole Miss.
Braylon Allen has played virtually every snap, and that's what has been the case since Malusi went down. Another play action throw on the run, and finally a completion for Locke will go to Skylar Bell. Just his first completion of the day. But Braylon Allen, when we talked to the coaching staff, they said they're trying to limit his workload, but he does so many great things for this team, and without Ches Malusi, they really need him out there.
Well, they do, and especially in a game like this. I mean, they need his running ability, but also he's the best pass protector as a running back, so they need him in passing situations as well. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield.
You can get back after that.
As long as he doesn't make contact. A lot of times you tell your center, if you feel that offside, snap the football, but they didn't do that.
Play clock under 5. Watching have to hurry here, or take the timeout.
They didn't get it off. Yeah, he's got, and Phil Longo is pointing at the clock.
Offense. 5-yard pile, 3rd down.
You say, okay, that's only 5 yards, but that's a huge penalty. You've got the punt return, you're in their territory, it's 3rd and 5. Now, Bordolini, the center, should have snapped that as soon as he felt the pressure come across, and then Braden Locke just lost track of the play clock. And the difference between 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 10 against this defense is very significant.
Bakos, the kicker, has hit from 52 this season, career long of 55. Here's a 3rd and 10. Lock over the middle, too high. He had a man open. It was Will Pauling, his go-to target in the slot. And now a decision for Luke Fickell and company. It's 4th and long.
Now, even if you don't get the first down conversion, you move it closer into field goal range. The ball just sailed on Locke. Pauling did a nice job of kind of gearing down in the hole, and the ball just took off on Braden Locke. So really a mental mistake and a physical mistake on back-to-back plays by the redshirt freshman quarterback.
So as mentioned, Nathaniel Bakos, the sophomore from Avon, Ohio, is going to try from 54 yards.
Not going to get there.
Not at all.
Not even close.
So again, couldn't capitalize the Badgers off the turnover early, couldn't capitalize off the punt return. It's still 3-0. Well, there's a reason that Ohio State has become wide receiver U, especially of late. You look at some of the names from 2016 on, starting with Michael Thomas, most recently Jackson Smith and Jigba. Most of these are first-round picks or high-level stars, and it seems like they found their next leading man, Marvin Harrison Jr., 100-plus receiving yards in 5 of the last 6. He's got 12 career games with 100-plus, second only to David Boston. He is one of the guys that you watch him on the field, you can watch him on TV, but certainly in person, he stands out no matter what. And Wisconsin's held him in check so far early. We'll see if they can get him involved as McCord loads up deep for Fleming. Incomplete. Dropped in the bucket. Fleming couldn't hold on in a double coverage with Hallman and Latu.
And Fleming, he was a little banged up the last possession. I think this was just a drop. He beats Hallman. The ball is thrown well, and I think he just dropped the football. But I don't know that Fleming is 100% healthy, and he's coming off the sideline. He came off the last possession and looks like he's injured again after that play.
So that means Carnell Tate, the true freshman, who has gotten a lot of praise from his teammates and coaching staff, is back in there. Look at the wiggle ability right there from TreyVeon Henderson to get the positive to the 41.
Again, he's just so scary when he has the ball because he can break any play. Really good penetration by C.J. Getz that forced him to bounce outside, and pretty good leverage defense by Wisconsin. Another 3rd and long, and an opportunity for the Badgers to get off the field. No catches for Harrison yet. No catches for tight end Cade Stover either.
3rd and 6. McCord luffs it. Harrison makes the grab. He is special.
See, the last time that Kyle McCord tried to throw it to Harrison, he didn't put the ball in a position where he could make a play. If you put it close to him, he will use his body to shield the defender. Working on Jason Maitre, the transfer from Boston College, and uses that big frame to just kind of shield the defender and make a play on the football. His first catch of the evening.
And they're always backbreakers. That one goes for 35 yards. Sets up a fresh set of downs. And now movement. Kurt Neal rammed through that Ohio State offensive line.
Offside. Defense number 92 with contact. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, what happened was he saw the guard tapping the center to alert him to go ahead and snap the football, and he went on that movement. And it was an offsides penalty. It was not illegal motion by the offense. A lot of teams do that. The guard will tap the center to let him know the quarterback is ready for the ball. And the defender reacted to it.
McCord looking to take advantage now. Lofts it. End zone. Henderson can't make this catch. Had it on his fingertips and couldn't squeeze it.
Well, this shows you the versatility of Henderson. This time, instead of coming out of the backfield, he lined up in the slot and ran a wide receiver route. And he beat the linebacker, Jake Chaney. Just couldn't come down with the football. Ran a beautiful route and just wasn't able to come down with the touchdown catch.
They take the shot on 1st and 5. Still inside the red zone, looking to pack on more points before the end of the first. Henderson delayed handoff. Henderson, escapability, dives forward, half-yard shy. It'll set up 3rd and short.
That time they put Marvin Harrison Jr. in motion behind the play to just try to affect the eyes of the Wisconsin defense, and still gave the ball inside to Henderson. 3rd and short. If they're under center, I would anticipate quarterback sneak.
Play clock's at 0 currently. Let's see if they never reset it.
Delay a game.
Oh my.
Offense.
Ryan Day is going
foul.
crazy.
3rd down.
That they didn't reset the play clock.
It at least feels that way, right?
Yeah, it did. It really felt that way. I mean, they weren't at the line of scrimmage. They weren't taking a lot of time.
Let's get Terry McCauley in on this. Terry, did you see anything here?
I did. I just looked at it. They reset the play clock to 25 instead of 40 after the previous play. That was the issue. So this really shouldn't be a delay of game.
Wow. That's a costly penalty. I mean, really in the favor of Wisconsin, because now instead of 3rd and short, it's 3rd and 6. Ryan Day still wants an explanation of why this happened.
After the previous play, the game clock was correct. The play clock, however, only set to 25. We're going to place the ball at the previous spot, and it will be 3rd down from the previous spot.
That's high-level journalism. Larry Smith said apparently he didn't want to make sure that he goes with completes in any of this. No definites, but it will allow for Ohio State to get their 3rd and short opportunity that they were expected.
Well, and that's the right call, as Terry explained it. I mean, that Ohio State should not have been penalized for that. And it changed the 3rd down play quite dramatically, and now they can do whatever they want here at 3rd and 1. Again, I would expect another quarterback sneak. There's a gap right now to the right of the center.
Henderson. Oh, he stood up! What a hit! John met him! And James Thompson found a nose for the ball.
Now you wonder, could this possibly be a targeting call, or what's the flag about? What a play by John Meta from his linebacker position.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, defense, number 94. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
Wow, that is Gio Paez, the fifth-year senior.
Well, here's the play right here by the inside linebacker. Comes in there. It's he and James Thompson Jr., number 90, who make the stop. And you can see Paez standing over TreyVeon Henderson at the end of the play. It's okay to celebrate with your teammates here, but don't do this. It was a great stop, and you just negated it by taunting the player and standing over him. And that's unnecessary by the Badger defense.
Extends the drive now for the Buckeyes. First and goal. Play action. Great fake by McCord. Rolling. And McCord. Oh, he throws an interception.
Yeah.
His first pick since week 1. Taken away by Preston Zachman.
You mentioned great ball fake, but the secondary was not fooled by Wisconsin. And so when he comes out here, he needs to throw this football away or run it because nobody is open. And he forced to throw back into the field, and it was picked off. Preston Zachman in the right spot, and that's a ball that Kyle McCord needs to throw away. The fake was great, but it didn't fool the secondary, and then he makes a costly mistake throwing the interception.
Todd, Kyle McCord had gone 204 passing attempts without throwing an interception, and the force on the run, big time play by this Wisconsin defense.
Of an interception is under further review.
When you make a fake like that and you know it's a good fake and you roll out, you're expecting something to be wide open, and it was not wide open. And Kyle McCord, again, he's still a first-year starting quarterback as they take another look at it. Zachman has it. The foot is down. He doesn't bobble the football on the way to the ground. That's a clean interception. But just a mistake by Kyle McCord trying to throw this football in the field of play. Throw that away and live to play another down.
I would assume the only thing they could possibly be looking at, and let's see if they make the quick call.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
There you go.
Interception, first down.
I was just curious that it was taking even that long because it felt like it was pretty obvious.
And Wisconsin was able to withstand some bad penalties in that drive. They helped Ohio State down the field. They missed the field goal to give them good starting field position to start, and they turn them away with another turnover, and now they have the football. And for Luke Fickell, your team has fought and stayed in the game here in the first quarter.
I mentioned this first quarter being as critical as anything in this game. How would his team respond after an emotional win, and especially against the #3 team in the country? There's a carry for Allen. So far, so good, limiting the bleeding in this first quarter.
You saw the tackle right there by Jack Sawyer. And again, this defensive front, you cannot abandon the run because this defensive front can really get after the quarterback. Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau on the ends, Tyleik Williams, Michael Hall Jr. inside. 4 future NFL players, but you got to still try to attack them with the run game.
Todd, you know what this first quarter felt like? Felt like Big Ten football here in Madison. 3-0 after 1. Ohio State with a slim advantage at Camp Randall under the lights in a chilly night in Wisconsin. Aerial coverage brought to you by Ford. Camp Randall Stadium. Beautiful scenes here under the lights. Glad to have you with us. No Eagle, Todd Blackledge, Catherine Tappan, and Terry McCauley. All things considered, that first quarter, you got to feel pretty good if you're Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, they survived the first quarter, and that's what Luke Fickell wanted to do. I mean, they've only got 24 yards of offense. Their young quarterbacks only completed 1 pass, but their defense took the ball away twice, and they got a 4th down stop. So, I mean, the defense has played outstanding here in the first quarter. Now they need their offense to kind of make some plays.
And that's the key. It still feels like if they can get the running game going, that'll open up a little bit more for their inexperienced quarterback.
Yeah, it could set up some play action stuff, and really play action is where you can protect the quarterback the best and get some chunk plays. And again, it's easier said than done, but you can't beat a team like Ohio State if you don't get chunk plays. But that's one thing Ohio State's defense has done great this year. They do not give up big plays.
So we'll See what Wisconsin can do starting this second quarter with a 2nd and 7 from their own 23-yard line. Allen continues to be the bell cow. Play action, Locke gets rid of it, incomplete. Pauling was coming on a crossing route, and they'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Ohio State came with a blitz too from the outside, and he had to get rid of this football. Here's pressure coming right here, unblocked defender. They go play fake, and nobody picks up the blitz. He had to get rid of the football. Ohio State alert for that throw in the middle, but again, Braden Locke, a rough start so far, 1 for 6 for only 5 yards in another 3rd down situation.
Penn State started 0 for 15 on 3rd down last week against this Ohio State defense. Wisconsin 0 for 2 to start today. Locke delivers in and out of the hands of Will Pauling, usually dependable, and the drop will cost the possession.
Yeah, it almost looks like Will Pauling was confused of where the sideline was and wanted to make sure he was going to stay in bounds. He goes in motion, he comes back, he's clearly the go-to guy on 3rd down and just drops the football. He kind of went to the ground. I don't know if he lost his footing or thought he had to try to keep his feet in bounds, but he just didn't secure the catch.
Bertram's back
short.
on.
Anyway.
Would have been, yes. Deep in your own territory, and instead Bertram's will try to flip the field. Ballard deep. The angling kick is going to make him backpedal for no reason here as it sails out of bounds and gives Ohio State outstanding field position. This one's going to start all the way towards midfield at the 47, maybe 48-yard line.
Well, Marvin Harrison last week targeted 16 times, had 11 catches. Working on Ricardo Hallman tonight. Hallman doing a pretty good job. Was in position to knock a couple balls away, a couple miscommunications with his quarterback, Kyle McCord, on where the ball should go. But that doesn't mean you're going to stop going at him, because he is your big play guy. And when you put the ball in the range of his radius, his catch radius, good things happen. And that big play on 3rd down was huge for Ohio State.
McCord and Harrison, 6 years together now, dating back to high school, and both have said that they've had to learn how to play together at this level after dominating at the high school level. As Henderson has another handoff and a big hole up the middle into Wisconsin territory for a 1st down carry of 10.
It was a weird play because the wide receivers on the left side, they weren't even knowing where they weren't ready for the ball to be snapped. They're looking at the sideline. Didn't matter. The run went to the right. It was great blocking by the right side of the Ohio State offensive line. Matthew Jones, the right guard, Josh Fryer, the right tackle, and a big-time run by TreyVeon Henderson, who's having a good start to this game. 9 carries, 38 yards. Buckeyes happy to have him back.
Play action of Johnson, dump it down, it's Henderson. Not a whole lot of space to work with, spun down after a pickup of 1 by Waller.
I really liked visiting with Waller the other day. Hunter Waller, a Wisconsin kid, came very close to going to Ohio State. He loved it there. Jeff Hafley was the guy who recruited him, and had Jeff Hafley not gone to take the BC head coaching job, he might have ended up at Ohio State. But he's a Wisconsin native who loves playing for the Badgers. His whole family has a bunch of people here every game. And he is an outstanding playmaking defensive back for this defense.
2nd and 9 from McCord. Good time, and just leaves it. Henderson looking for that 1st down marker, and it's going to be close depending on the spot, and they'll leave him a half-yard shy once again.
Really good decision this time by Kyle McCord. It was a zone defense. Wisconsin only rushed 3, and he saw guys flying out of there into deep coverage and did the right thing. Dump it down to the back. If you don't get the 1st down, it's going to be 3rd and very short. So a very good decision that time by Kyle McCord, taking what the defense gave him.
We've seen that composure just improve with each week as McCord going to get a nice push and a 1st down.
Well, McCord's 215 pounds himself. He's going to go right behind the center, gets the push from Chip Trainum, the running back. Carson Hinsman, the center, his first year as a starting center. He's the only Wisconsin native on this Ohio State football team. So Wisconsin has a lot of Ohio guys, big time for them. Pretty big for that guy right there as well.
Asked for 49 tickets for friends and family tonight. Carnell Tate, the motion man in the slot. Here comes the rush on McCord. Poised, calm, delivers. Another first down. G. Scott.
Yeah, 2 tight end offense this time, and a really nice job by Traynham. Watch him come over and pick up the blitz. He sees it, he's got eyes on it, does a beautiful job standing up the safety Preston Zachman, and that enabled Kyle McCord to find his tight end Scott crossing the field.
Traynham will stay in there, knocking on the door of the red zone. Traynham gets past the first surge and turns it into a gain of 4.
Yeah, Wohler came on a blitz that time. It looked like he might get him in the backfield for a loss of yardage, but he wasn't able to get Traynham on the ground. Watch Wohler, he times this blitz. I thought he was going to get him in the backfield, missed the tackle. Traynham turns it into a positive gain.
They'll get Henderson back in the game, already with 38 yards in his return to action.
Marvin's working on a different corner right now.
Ford wasn't looking there initially. Now over the middle, right back to Harrison, who's going to get that stride and find the touchdown. Deja vu for one of the best weapons in all of college football.
Yeah, he wasn't working on Hallman this time. This time he was working on Niger Forkerine. And watch, Forkerine's just going to kind of get lost. He's going to get hung up. This looks like the same touchdown that won the game against Penn State a week ago, or at least put it out of reach, that made it a 2-score game. Shallow cross. They get caught up in the traffic, the defenders, and Marvin Harrison, what he can do with the ball in his hands after the catch, truly special.
7th touchdown of the season, sets up the fielding extra point, 24th of his career. It's also his 4th consecutive game with a touchdown, a 7-play drive, 52 yards, just over 4 minutes off the clock. And who else but number 18 in white to find pay dirt and extend the lead for the Buckeyes.
Oh, nice touchdown by Marvin Harrison. I want to show you what happened here as Marvin Harrison comes on the shallow cross. Now, here's Forkerine. He's already beat. But the problem is all these bodies right in here, he gets hung up even more. And by this time, there's no way to catch up with Marvin Harrison Jr. Good play design, and it's actually the exact same play they ran last week against Penn State for the touchdown that made it a 2-score game. Just Ryan Day and Brian Hartline do such a good job of moving him around and getting him the ball in different ways, knowing teams try to take him out of the offense.
They said that he's always working extra at practice to make sure he's ready. DK on the return from the goal line. Had the big punt return earlier, and this one he's going to get to the 25 before him being dragged out of bounds over there. Let's go downstairs for more on Marv with KT.
Yeah, guys, Pro Football Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison is pushing his son to get better. He told me what stands out to me is that there's room for improvement. I don't say he's the greatest thing. I don't look at what everyone else does. When someone says he had a great game, I say, you don't know what you're talking about, because he needs to keep working harder at his craft. And when he's watching his son play, guys, he told me, I'm not going to have pom-poms and popcorn. I'm going to have the notepad and the pen.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, though. Marvin told us, you know, the games when he has lots of notes, I mean, that's the hardest. But last week against Penn State, he said he talked to his dad and he didn't have any notes for him. He said that was the best news he could get.
It was business call, and Locke under pressure gets away, and then we'll just throw it away.
He had a receiver open too, but he did the smart thing. Once he eluded the rush, he got outside the pocket so you can throw the football away.
The quarterback was outside the pocket. The ball made it past the line of the game. 2nd down.
Lathan Ransom came on a safety blitz and should have had the sack. And Locke did a good job of getting rid of the football, but he did have an open receiver had he been able to keep his eyes downfield. But way too much pressure on that 1st down play.
Jackson Aker is now in there at running back, so getting Braylon out a little bit of blow, and they will get it to Aker on the pass. Aker Lowers the shoulder and gets to the 30, set up 3rd and 5.
A nice little play. Had blocking. Aker can't hesitate on that, though. I mean, this defense runs too well. I mean, you got to get going upfield as hard as you can. But at least it gives you a chance here on 3rd down against this Buckeye defense.
Locke now just 2 of 9, 9 yards. There's been tough sledding in this Buckeye defense, as good as advertised. Locke stands tall and finds his receiver, bouncing off, but Green won't get there. And then the extra effort, the crowd wants the flag, they won't get it.
A really nice play by Denzel Burke. He doesn't wrap up the tackle, but he hits the receiver hard enough to knock him backwards. And then when Bryson Green tried to turn upfield and still get the 1st down, there were other white shirts there to make sure he didn't. But Denzel Burke does a nice job hitting him up high and knocking him backwards and not allowing Bryson Green to get forward for the 1st down.
So Bertram's back out, Ballard back to receive another punt. Line drive kick, fair catch called for and made at the 21. Ohio State's defense, one of the best in the country for a reason. Pitching a shutout so far. For the number 24 Trojans as they get back in the win column, and now Wisconsin trying to have a little bit of a come from behind feel as they did last week and as USC had to do today against Cal. They'll be training him in there on 1st down for the Buckeyes. Johnson again in motion, hand it right back to him. Johnson showing off the speed, spinning his way for a pickup of 8.
Yeah, 3rd time we've seen that play. I mean, it's their little changeup. They're running inside, 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 and when they want to get to the perimeter, they're giving it to this guy in the jet sweep. Nice job by Trainum, kind of leading the blocking out there. Still haven't seen Ohio State try to get the ball to Cade Stover yet. I got to expect they want to get him involved in the offense here soon. He has been an outstanding tight end this season.
Stover 5th in the conference in receiving yards this year. 2nd and 2, handoff Trainum, and he's going to pick up the 1st down.
This Ohio State team, I mean, they're on offense right now, but we talked all about their defense, and that has been the talk of this team. Right now, only 31 yards of offense for Wisconsin, and you know the old saying, defense travels, right? Your offense might turn the ball over, they might not be as sharp, they might not hit on these plays, but if your defense is playing at this level, it doesn't matter where you play, what the weather is, what the conditions are, and this Ohio State defense is for real this year.
And McCord quietly already up to 120 yards himself. Swing it, Trainum, no, too low, incomplete. Ohio State, they have had juggernauts offensively the last couple of years. In fact, they have averaged 40 or more for 6 straight seasons, but this year down to 33.7 to this point in the season, and yet it still feels like their offense has been plenty good enough, especially against some of the lesser teams they've played, but even against the best teams we saw last week, Marvin Harrison Jr. can make a play at any time.
Well, and the offense the last few years had, you know, guys who are starting in the NFL at quarterback now running the show. I mean, you know, it's a lot of big shoes for Kyle McCord to fill.
Here he is on play action, a dart over the middle. It's Cornell Tate for a 1st down. Picks up 15.
Little RPO. The offensive line is blocking run. Henderson has already shown that he's effective today. So the line's blocking run. Kyle McCord's reading the linebackers. They come in to stop the run. It opens up that window for a nice easy throw to Cornell Tate. The running game already looks better with TreyVeon Henderson tonight. And just his threat as a runner or a receiver and his home run ability.
Play action Johnson. McCord over to Henderson. Slips a tackle. Henderson. And finally slammed down inside of Wisconsin territory. What we saw Kyle McCord week 4 this season, and you talk to his coaching staff, you talk to his teammates, they say that his leadership has improved, his poise has improved, but you could even just sense it talking to him, his confidence has improved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his confidence in himself, and more importantly, his team's confidence in him. Not that they didn't have it going into the Notre Dame game, but coming out of it, it was at a new level.
He mentioned that final drive. He said when you're in your backyard playing football at 9 years old, that's what you dream of. And he delivered for his team on the game-winning touchdown. Here's Henderson and another first down carry across the 40.
See, what happens is when Ohio State can really run the football, then it forces you as a defense to make a decision. Do we need to bring an extra defender down towards the line of scrimmage to have an extra tackler? And if we do that, though, that puts us in more one-on-one situations with these Ohio State wideouts. It's a hard decision to make.
And movement and a flag.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
G. Scott, the tight end.
Well, there's 5 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first half, and you almost get the feel that Wisconsin cannot afford to give up another touchdown. It has to be a field goal here, if anything. Because of the way Ohio State's defense is playing and shutting down the Badger offense, you just can't, it just doesn't feel like you can get down 17 points and hope to come back.
Wisconsin did win the toss, elected to defer. So holding the 3 would be a big momentum shift in their favor here. And another interception. Ricardo Hallman's 5th of the year. First career multi-interception game of the career of Kyle McCord.
Ricardo Hallman is playing zone defense, and Kyle McCord never saw it. Hallman comes off of his man and makes a play on the ball. He watches extra film to know when to jump the ball. He jumped the ball right there. Big time play by Ricardo Hallman, but he's in the tent on the sideline. But what a beautiful interception in zone coverage. Here's Hallman right here. Kyle McCord is going to look to hit Marvin on a crossing route. Zone coverage, the corner has eyes on the quarterback. He makes a play on the ball, and he came from a place that Kyle McCord never saw him.
Now you got to capitalize. Third turnover of this first half, and here comes Braylon Allen on a chunk gain.
Yeah, and he's got to be your guy, right? You're not throwing the football. Braden Locke is 3 for 10. Braylon Allen is your proven guy, and you got a lot of time. You got all 3 timeouts in just under 5 minutes, so you can run the football.
Going to go right back to it and not get anything. Blown up in the backfield.
Michael Hall Jr. is so quick. He just whipped the center. Watch number 51 right here, how quick he is off the ball. And he just kind of gets skinny and gets right between the center and the guard and makes a play in the backfield.
Defense, whoa. Number 44 lined up in the neutral zone. That 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
That's huge for Wisconsin because that was a big-time play by Michael Hall Jr. And there's JT right there. Yeah, he's lined up. Never got back across out of the neutral zone. Good call.
And that's a good sign. Ricardo Hallman out of the tent. So a first down after the longest play of the game on that first pickup from Allen. Fake the reverse. Locke can't get away. Tripped up. Jordan Hancock with a burst to the QB.
Well, take a Walmart Plus look from above. Here's Hancock. He's going to come inside. And the right tackle gets kind of confused. He doesn't know who to go for. Riley Mahlman, number 71, kind of got stuck in between 2 defenders. He missed both of them. And a big-time play coming off the corner by Jordan Hancock.
And now 2nd and 20. You wonder what the play calling looks like for Phil Longo.
Got to get part of the yardage back. Try to get 10 here.
Quick throw to the outside, a completion for C.J. Williams. And they will get it. A nice gain of 7 to make it 3rd and 13.
And you're thinking the same thing right here, because this is 4-down territory. You're not in field goal range. So you're thinking, how can I get 12 yards in 2 plays? And the first thing is you got to protect the quarterback.
Last week, fourth quarter, 3rd and 10. They ran it with Braylon Allen. Not this time. Allen on the blitz pickup. Lock over the middle. Complete. First down and more. Will Pauling.
Really nice job picking up the blitz by Braylon Allen. You want to see how a blitz should be picked up? Watch him hit Lathan Ransom, the safety. Knocked him back, clean pocket, and the best throw of the night so far for Braden Locke. Will Pauling, nice route, working on Cameron Martinez, and a first down for the Badgers. Back to Allen, stutter step, gets away. Allen inside the red zone with a gain of 7. 2 minutes, 40 seconds, and running down all 3 timeouts. So you can go anywhere on the field here. You can run, you can throw in the middle. Those 3 timeouts are huge right now for Phil Longo and Luke Fickell.
Play action lock on the run. First down. Skyler Bell.
Clock doesn't stop until we get inside of 2 minutes on a first down here in the first half. That's why it's still running right now.
This is what Braden Locke did at the end of the first half last week against Illinois. Led a touchdown drive before the end of the half, and now this one will be whistled.
The ruling on a field of a completed catch is under further review.
Interesting. Have to take a look at the replay here, assuming that they're looking to see whether or not Skyler Bell maintained control going to the ground.
Yeah, my first thought was it wasn't a great throw on the move because the receiver didn't have a chance to turn upfield and run with it.
Oh boy. So it looks like he pins it best he can against his chest. The question is whether or not he had control before it hits the ground there.
And the ball can touch the ground,
right?
But the ground can't help him secure the catch. So it's a matter of did he have security of the ball when it hit the ground or not. Again, it was ruled a catch on the field, so it would have to be indisputable evidence to overturn the call. I don't see the ball moving when it hit the ground. And so I think this will stand as a catch.
After review, the ruling of a field of a catch stands.
All right, Terry, is that exactly what you saw as well?
Absolutely. I'm listening to Todd say exactly what I was going to say. Absolutely stands on there. Good job.
Well, that's good synergy between you guys.
I like it.
Must be your shared taste in beverages. But a great catch.
Where does Wisconsin go right here now? Again, we haven't seen a pass attempt to Braylon Allen. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield.
Instead, handed off. Allen. Juke. And gains 9.
This is Braylon Allen saying, put the rock in my hands. Let me get us right where we need to be at halftime. He's had to carry the majority of the load with Ches Maluzzi out with the injury. And he's really embraced that. His attitude has been, okay, I'm going to up my game, my preparation, everything about it, and put the team on my back.
Allen up the middle. And that's going to be a first down and goal.
First and goal. The clock will stop now. So they don't have to burn a timeout right here, but they do need to get themselves lined up and ready to go.
Remember, Wisconsin won the toss, elected to defer. They can double dip here if they play their cards right. Back to the line quickly. Locke throws inside, touchdown, Skyler Bell.
Ohio State was thinking quarterback sneak. They had linebackers in the middle to stop the sneak and only 3 defenders out on the 3 receivers. Watch, look at all those people in there thinking quarterback sneak. Does his knee touch?
Ooh.
Looks like he kept it up. They may take another look at this. It was a low throw. Does the knee touch the ground?
It does.
It does. This is going to be overturned. And that's on Braden Locke. He rushed the throw, and he didn't make an accurate throw. They had a walk-in touchdown, but the ball was thrown too low.
Low and behind.
Yeah.
Bell already had to adjust on the previous catch, and you see her right there.
Oh, they had it. I mean, this was a great play call. They had Ohio State's defense outflanked.
The touchdown is under further review.
And the crowd not happy now. Just wait till they hear the eventual decision.
Well, it's going to come back. I mean, his knee is down clearly. Now that's a play, all right. If you're the quarterback, you want to get that ball out as quickly as possible, right? It's got to happen quick so they can't react defensively. But you can't do it so fast that you don't make an accurate throw. And that was just not an accurate throw.
All this great learning experience, obviously you want to learn with wins and you want to learn on the fly, and that's what Braden Locke did last week at Illinois. Touchdown drive at the end of the first half, 2 touchdown drives in the fourth quarter. And when we talked to offensive coordinator Phil Longo about it, he said overall he graded him a 73. But the touchdown drive at the end of the first half, he was a 91. And the touchdown drive at the end of the game, he was a 91. We've seen the flashes. He's calm and cool under pressure. Can he do it once again here with 43 seconds left?
Well, they've got 43 seconds. It's going to be 2nd down and goal. And they still have 2 timeouts, I believe. They used 1.
They have all 3.
They still have all 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they used 1, but they're in good shape.
The ruling on the field is when the receiver recovered the ball, his knee was down, and the ball's at the 1.5-yard line. It will be 2nd and goal at the 1.5-yard line. The clock will start on my wind.
Now you would think that this might be Braylon Allen territory, right, to run the football. The other thing, and the quarterback Braden Locke is not the same kind of a running threat or dual threat that Tanner Mordecai is. But if you make a good fake to Braylon Allen, the quarterback run might be there as well, with Ohio State focusing so much attention on the tailback.
Allen 2nd in the conference, only to Blake Corum in rushing touchdowns on the season. He's got 8 of them. And Luke Fickell wanting the complete explanation. This was pretty definitive. And we'll see if the clock is going to remain at 43 if they add a couple more seconds.
Well, again, this is big, as you already said. I mean, they deferred the opening kickoff to take the ball in the 3rd quarter. And they need a touchdown right here.
Because the play comes back to a live ball, there's a 10-second subtraction. Wisconsin has chosen not to use a timeout. Therefore, the clock will go from 46 to 36, and it will start on my signal.
So they've got all 3 timeouts here. 36 seconds left. You're 2nd and goal at the 1.5-yard line. Those 10 seconds, in theory, really shouldn't matter all that much.
No, the timeouts in your pocket are huge right now. 12 personnel now, 2 tight ends in for Wisconsin on this 2nd and goal play.
Allen barrels, didn't get it. Stop short.
Yeah, Jack Sawyer, number 33, made a great play. JT Tuimoloau is down after the play, though.
Prior to the timeout, injured player on the defense. It's an officials timeout.
First team All Big Ten a year ago. Preseason All-American. Another outstanding 4th quarter last week against Penn State after completely taking over the game a year ago. Helped win the game at Notre Dame this year. There's really only so many superlatives you can use for this guy.
Well, he and Sawyer are coming from opposite sides. Sawyer's going to make the play, and I think he hits his own guy, Sawyer. Sawyer made the tackle on Allen, and Tuimoloau hit Sawyer and is slow getting up off the field. Beautiful play by Jack Sawyer, the junior out of Pickerington, Ohio.
And this is an Ohio State team that they play their best players on the defensive end more than anything else. And Tuimoloau and Sawyer very rarely come off the field. It changes the dynamic of what this defensive line looks like. Now, doesn't mean they don't have talent behind them. They've got loads of it. But Tuimoloau is a leader of this defense. Jack Sawyer, former high school quarterback, leader of this defense. And so we'll see what Ohio State looks like as Tuimoloau has to go to the side.
Tuimoloau is a future first-round NFL draft pick, and they've had a few of those guys play the edge right at Ohio State. He's the next one of those guys. Larry Johnson, the defensive line coach for Ohio State, his 10th season here. He's produced 8 first-team All-American defensive linemen.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. And he produced a bunch of them at Penn State before he made the move to Ohio State.
So now it's 3rd and goal with the clock ticking down. Lob, shovel, Allen stood up again.
Tommy Eichenberg with a big-time play.
4th down, they're going to have to take the timeout. They do.
Timeout, Wisconsin.
And you have to kick the field goal here. As much as you want a touchdown, you cannot come away with no points. Watch Eichenberg right here. Just read this. He stays at home, and he reads the shovel pass. He comes into the line first, fights off the block of the right guard, Michael Furtney, and then makes the play right at the line of scrimmage. Beautiful play by the leading tackler of this Ohio State defense, Tommy Eichenberg.
And again, this is an Ohio State defense under defense coordinator Jim Knowles that wants to prove they can be the reason this team wins games. It stands like that for what they've done this season, why they're 7-0. They're as big of a reason as anybody. Now, this is the last thing that Wisconsin possibly wants to see. That's Braylon Allen, who is being looked at on the field. And already without Chez Malusi, as we've talked about, it's more inexperience now behind Allen. Jackson Aker got a couple of snaps in this first half.
Well, you sure hope he's okay, but you can't say enough about this Ohio State defense. I mean, it's a 10-0 game, and Ohio State's offense has turned the ball over 3 times. It got stopped on a 4th down. And yet you're still shutting out the opponent. And
allowed a 35-yard punt return.
Yeah.
Deep into your own territory, and there's Jim Knowles, who has just engineered as stingy of a group as we've seen across the country this year.
You know, the one thing he said as we watch Braylon Allen walk off the field, he said it was a lot like when he first went to Oklahoma State from Duke. They were a great offensive team, could throw the ball, had big-time receivers, and he said, we didn't compete very well in practice. We just conceded that, hey, our receivers are just better, and we give up plays, and oh well. And he said, no, you got to compete. And that's what happened here at Ohio State. He says, we are competing with our offense much more consistently now than we did last year. And that's why our guys believe that we can have a part in us winning games just as much as our offense.
Coming up on the Xfinity 10G Network halftime report. Our gang downstairs will recap everything we've seen between Ohio State and Wisconsin. Kansas, what a win for the Jayhawks. Fans tossed the goalpost in the lake. You'll get video of that. And the college football playoff rankings coming out this week. Predictions from our squad. As Vakos is back out there, missed from 54. This one a chip shot from 19 yards out. Let's get Wisconsin on the board. And he drills it. So Vakos brings it to a 1-possession game as we go to the half. Wisconsin will get the football to start the 3rd quarter in an old school Big Ten battle. A 12-play drive to wrap it up after another interception from Kyle McCord. 51 yards on that drive for Wisconsin. They went 42 in their first 5 drives combined. And before we get to half, let's go down Catherine Tappet.
Coach, your defense once again playing well. A huge stop there on 3rd down, but Wisconsin certainly playing well as well offensively. Will you make any adjustments on defense?
No, I think our defense is playing great. We can't turn the ball over. Certainly down in the red zone, and then we get into plus territory here. Got to finish off some drives. I think we're moving them. We're doing some good things, but we got to take care of the football.
Yeah, Kyle McCord with 2 interceptions already in this game. What will you tell him at the half?
Just to trust his feet and trust his eyes and, you know, manage the game and keep us on schedule.
Coach, thank you very much.
Finishing drives has been a key for Ohio State, and Braylon Allen's health could be critical for Wisconsin as we go to the half, 10-3.
This first half recap brought to you by Geico.
I'm on a mission now. No, you can't stop me now. I keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now. I'm on a mission now. I'm on a mission now. I'm gonna crank it loud and keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now.
It's easy to Geico.
I'm on a mission now.
Time now for the Big Bulletin, brought to you by Genesis. Halloween weekend here in Madison. Ohio State leads 10-3 at the half. It was a struggle early on for the Wisconsin offense. Just 42 yards on their first 5 drives to get points on a 51-yard drive to finish the half. Kyle McCord had been nearly perfect for the last 7, really 6+ games. Tonight, 2 interceptions in the first half. And the time of possession skewed in favor of Ohio State. That really dominated that category. The late drive helped for Wisconsin, and they will get the football to start this third quarter after winning the toss, electing to defer to the second half. And we'll see if the redshirt freshman quarterback Braden Locke, making just his 2nd career start, can find a rhythm. There's JT Tuimoloau, who went down towards the end of the first half. He was in on that last field goal, so he appears to be okay and ready to roll. Jaden Fielding will kick it away. Vinny Anthony and company will Pauling back for Wisconsin. And it will be a fair catch in the end zone. This will start from the 25. We go to KT.
Yeah, well, Braden Locke is going to have his hands full on offense for Wisconsin. We saw running back Braylon Allen favoring that right leg to end the half. Luke Fickell just told me it's unlikely that he will return in this game. Also, wide receiver Chimike, unlikely to return for this half. I said, well, how are you going to get the offense going without those 2 players who have been huge components to this offense? He said, we're going to have to rely heavily on our offensive line and lean on Braden Locke to have one of his best games yet, guys.
So you're without the bell cow and without one of your captains and your return men.
Well, and for Jackson Aker, it's his turn to step up, not just as a runner, maybe even more importantly in this second half as a pass protector from the running back.
Go to the air on first down, a fastball, and a first down completion. Bryson Green stays on his feet across midfield, dragged down by Steel Chambers. Big gain on the first play of the second half of 26.
Beautiful play right out of the gate, and here's Jackson Aker staying in for pass protection. He's going to pick up Tommy Eichenberg. The ball's out of the quarterback's hands quickly, and Bryson Green, one of those wide receiver transfers from Oklahoma State, with some nice yards after the catch on the first play of the third quarter.
Nice confidence boost there for Locke as well to get the quick completion. Now a delayed handoff for Aker. Good blocking, and he is stood up after he crosses the 45-yard line of the 44 by Eichenberg.
Even without Braylon Allen, you cannot completely abandon the run. You've got to make this Ohio State defense, as tough as they are, play honest. You can't let them just make you one-dimensional and pin their ears back and come after your quarterback.
Locke, patient and just in and out of the hands of the intended target, Will Pauling.
Now that was good protection. Luke Fickell said we got to count on that offensive line. That was excellent pass protection, just nowhere for Locke cleanly to go with the football. Those big guys giving him a nice clean pocket and just no open receivers to get the football to him.
3rd and 6.
Normally this is Will Pauling time for Wisconsin.
Locke's going to run it. Plenty of space. First down and more. Braden Locke inside the red zone.
So this is a design quarterback draw. You know that because the center, Bartolini, leads on the play. It was well timed by Braden Locke, and Ohio State not expecting the running ability of Locke like they would have been had Tanner Mordecai been playing quarterback. Excellent call on that 3rd down.
29 yards, career-long rush. Now Locke back to the air, will dirt it. He saw that it was well read by Jack Sawyer in the direction of Bryson Green and lived to fight another down.
Back in the red zone. The last time they were in here, only one possession in the red zone that first half, right at the end. had to settle for the field goal after the goal line stand by Ohio State. Now 2nd down and 10 from the 15.
Block, dump it, Aker. And he is wrapped up by Chambers, quickly picks up 2.
That's the best thing Steele Chambers does for this Ohio State defense. He was a former running back. He's excellent against the pass. He really closes on the football quickly. And you saw it right there, making that a very short gain for Aker out of the backfield.
So now 3rd down and 8. We asked Chambers about making the change. Said the toughest thing was having to now deal with big linemen. Didn't really have to do that. He used them to his advantage as a running back. 3rd and long, Locke. Fakes, looks through his progressions. Locke, end zone, touchdown! Will Pauling! No, yes, touchdown!
A tremendous job by Braden Locke, not panicking, moving up in the pocket but not taking off. Watch. He moves up, but he keeps his eyes downfield into the end zone and delivers a strike to Pauling late in the progression. He ran it beautifully on this drive. That time, he didn't run and made a big-time throw.
Vakos with a chance to tie the game on the extra point. And he does. Second straight game with a touchdown for Will Pauling. Locke on the run. He does a great job of processing, and he finds his go-to guy to tie the game. Well, earlier today, fans enjoyed a cold beer tailgating in the Bud Light backyard. Grab yours and get ready for more Ohio State-Wisconsin action. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Well, the fans are enjoying this game now after the big-time touchdown to start the 3rd quarter by Wisconsin.
I don't know that you could have come out of the locker room any better than Braden Locke did. What a beautiful way to start the 2nd half. He accounted for 71 of 75 yards on that last drive. And Wisconsin in a tie ball game here in front of this raucous crowd here at Camp Randall.
Lom sends it away. Johnson will let it fly into the end zone.
Time now for a look from above, brought to you by Walmart Plus. It's Braden Locke on that last drive. First play, out of his hands quick. Boom. Good 1st down play, gets out by midfield. Then the design quarterback draw. Great play by Phil Longo on 3rd down. And then the touchdown. Poise, don't panic, and hit Pauling for the touchdown. Just a beautiful throw off schedule. A little off of a no look, a little bit of an arm angle, arm slot change, but a beautiful throw. And Wisconsin right back in it in a tie ball game.
Badgers defense has been excellent so far today. Let's see how the Ohio State offense cooks early. Henderson. Bottled up.
This defensive line is not particularly big, and so they're best when they're moving. And that's exactly what happened on that play. Rodas Johnson did a beautiful job on a slant and got into the backfield and stopped that play right at the line of scrimmage.
McCord lofts, complete. Harrison, 1st down.
A lot of room out there for Marvin Harrison. They were trying to run an underneath coverage out underneath the route, but it was so far away that Maitre, number 23, just couldn't get underneath the route. Good read by Kyle McCord, knowing that the underneath coverage couldn't get there, and he could get the ball to his number 1 receiver. Just whenever Ohio State feels any kind of desperation or a need for a play, that's the guy they go to, and rightfully so.
Cade Stover, number 8 in white, still without a catch today. Henderson. No running room. loses a yard.
I'm telling you, it's this Hunter Wohler is really something. I mean, here he is right here. Now, he's a safety, but watch him creep up to the line of scrimmage and times it up and gets there unblocked to help out on the tackle. Beautiful play inside. But Wohler, the playmaker and leading tackler of this Wisconsin defense.
Came in with 70 tackles, second in the Big Ten. The Wisconsin kid who has so much pride playing for the Badgers. On 2nd and 11, McCord, another completion to G. Scott, and it'll set up 3rd and about 5.
It really is kind of unusual. I mean, the fact that you mentioned it, Kate Stover has not gotten a catch. G. Scott, their backup tight end, has 2 catches in the ball game. You got to believe they're going to call number 8's number sooner or later because he has made critical receptions all season for this Ohio State offense. Now they got Harrison in the slot again in kind of a bunch. Here he is in the middle.
McCord feeling it, dumps it. Trainum has to get away, and he will. Will they give him the first down? It looks like they've got him at the sticks, and they will move the chains.
And what an effort by Trainum because he had nowhere to go. He could not go outside. Kyle McCord had to dump this off. This was an outlet because of the pressure coming. And Trainum made a beautiful cut back inside to get the first down. An instinctive play, lowers his shoulders and gets the first down.
Hard to believe that when he transferred to Ohio State from Arizona State, he was going to be a linebacker.
Yeah.
He's got just a great feel for the position. Henderson slips through, gain 7. Ball comes out, Scott picked it up. Will they rule Henderson down for the time being? Scott advances it for a first down.
Well, it looks like the line judge is marked him down. Yeah, the line judge has him marked as he was down by contact.
That's awfully close. Gets punched out as he's just about to hit. I'm not sure that he was down. And Scott then picks it up, advances it. But it doesn't look like there's any sort of review here. So it'll be 2nd and 3. Henderson finds the hole. Henderson, burst of speed. Henderson inside the red zone.
Well, Kate Stover has not caught a pass, but watch him get a key block here on this run. They're going to pull the backside guard in the tight end. He gets a key block on the middle linebacker, John Meta. And then you see the burst and the speed of TreyVeon Henderson. His longest run of the night.
25 yards, up to 76. And he'll get another carry here and go backwards. Hunter Wohler lives in backfields.
Yeah, they just do so many different things with him. Here he is over here this time. They move him around, he chases plays, he blitzes, but he just kind of knows how to get to the football. One of those guys you say has a nose for the ball. He has a nose for the football, and he likes to tackle. Another red zone opportunity for Ohio State. Ryan Day told KT we got to cash in more when we get down there.
McCord under pressure, hit as he throws, end zone! Touchdown, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure they're going to look at this and make sure he was in, but the guy is spectacular. It looked like he was working on Forkerine again, who he beat for the touchdown earlier in the first half. The question is, does he get a foot in? Yep, I think he does. Does he maintain the catch? And I think he does that too.
And he got hit in the face.
Yeah, I mean, he's spectacular.
That's an and one.
Makes the catch, gets 1 foot down, which is all he needs, and secures it to the ground. I know there's some quarterbacks that are playing great football all over the country. In my opinion, he's the best player in college football.
We asked him about the Heisman Trophy, starting to get a little bit more noise surrounding Harrison for that award. And he says he doesn't really think about it, but if he were to get to New York at the end of the year, it would be as big an honor as he's ever had in his entire football career. Plays like this certainly help. His second touchdown of the day. You throw it in the radius. You let Marv, the magician, go and get it.
Kyle McCord said something interesting to us this week when he talked. He says, you know, we're moving the ball well, but we just haven't finished drives. And sometimes the points don't always match the yards right now. They're up to 285 total yards in the game. That time they finished the drive, and they had a good blend of run and pass. And Marvin Harrison with the payoff at the end.
Another perfect example of recognizing when Marv has a matchup, just throwing it in his direction, let him do the rest.
It was a little bit slow starting for Marvin tonight. They were a little not able to get him the football, but they targeted him 9 times. He only has 4 catches, but 2 of those have gone for touchdowns. One on the short crossing route in the first half, and then moments ago, the little takeoff, one-on-one coverage, and like Kyle McCord told us, I see that. The ball's going to 18, and I'm just going to get it around him, and I'm going to trust him to go up and make a play.
And just like that, he passed Garrett Wilson for 9th all-time in school history receiving yards. Just continues to leave his imprint on one of the greatest programs in the history of the sport. First down carry for Aker. And drags the pile with him across the 30.
Good run. And again, that's the offensive line. They don't have their bell cow. They don't have Braylon Allen going a little no huddle. Phil Longo wants to speed it up a little bit right now. Tempo.
Stay on the ground. Tuimoloau couldn't get to Aker, and he'll make it 3rd and 2.
But you have to lean on those big guys up front. 4 guys up front were starters last year. The only guy that wasn't, Joe Huber, is a transfer from Cincinnati, and he was a starter for the Bearcats.
Honorable mention, All-American was Huber last year. 3rd and 2. And that's going to be awfully close. It looks like Aker is, in fact, short. Cody Simon with a great job on the extra push to keep him from that line of game.
He's definitely short. And the crowd doesn't like it, but you have to punt the football. You cannot give Ohio State a short field here. They just stopped you on 3rd and short. You got to hope you can flip the field here with a good punt and coverage.
Bertrams will get it away. Ballard will be back to receive it again. High kick, fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line. So Wisconsin flips the field, 42-yard punt. Marvin Harrison already with 2 touchdowns coming up next. Big Ten Saturday Night is brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Well, Luke Fickell in his first year as the head coach here at Wisconsin, a nose guard at Ohio State from 93 to 96, 50 consecutive starts there. Then, of course, an assistant coach with the Buckeyes from 05 to 10, the 2011 season, the interim head coach, and went back to being the defensive coordinator when Urban Meyer was hired after that. Said that, of course, this game's a little different, but he's trying to just maintain and keep this the best he can, like a normal game. Hard to do that when you've got Marvin Harrison Jr. on the other side, who continues to carve up this defense and now is over 100 yards yet again.
Great protection, helped out by TreyVeon Henderson. That's a long developing route, the deep crossing route, and a nice throw by McCord because the pocket is clean.
108 yards, now 9 of his last 12 games. He's got at least 100 yards and a touchdown. Henderson. And Henderson gets away and then just kind of skirts out of bounds after a solid gain.
But the threat of TreyVeon Henderson makes a big difference for this offense. I mean, they really did not have another guy, whether it was Mayan Williams, Chip Trainum, Dallin Hayden, whoever it was not the same threat to break a big play like this guy is. And so as a defense, you have to respect that and it causes you to maybe just hold on a fake a little extra long and open things up for the whole offense.
Henderson. Oh, look at the shimmy shake. That was sick. Picks up 3.
Marvin Harrison got a break on that second down play, but he is back on the field now on 3rd down. Again, they've played him on the left side, on the right side, out wide in the slot. They put him in motion. He's working on Ricardo Hallman again, and that's been a pretty good matchup so far tonight.
McCord looking that way. Now McCord's going to run it himself up the middle for the first down.
Doesn't run a lot, but he made a good decision on this one. He's looking at Marvin, doesn't like it. And he gets the first down, knows what he needed, how much yardage. Dives forward and gets it.
Henderson. Henderson explodes, picks up 11. 93 yards in his return.
Watch Xavier Johnson. We've seen him on a couple end arounds. This time he's going to kind of be a lead blocker. Gets a nice block on Wohler. Kind of been an all-purpose guy today for this Ohio State offense. And again, the burst that we see out of TreyVeon Henderson.
So miscommunication. McCord trying to get the signal from the sideline.
Henderson almost up at 100 yards, 93 yards now on the night.
Play clock down to 3. Henderson hit in the backfield, loses yardage. Darrell Peterson.
Yeah, Peterson is an Ohio guy, number 17. Watch him just cut into the backfield. Quick move, gets inside, makes a play behind the line of scrimmage. Played his high school football at Akron Hoban, an outstanding high school football program in Ohio.
5th tackle for loss for the Badgers today. Under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd. McCord well protected. Dump it, train him, drag down. Nice play made by Austin Brown, the safety.
Yeah, good coverage downfield forced McCord to dump it off, and then a good tackle in space to bring up 3rd and long.
This is where this Wisconsin defense has thrived this year. Just a 7% conversion rate allowed on 3rd down and 8 or longer.
Yeah. Well, they're going to show pressure. They've got guys up around the line of scrimmage. Doesn't mean they're coming, but they're showing pressure and straight across coverage across the back end.
Play clock down to 3. And Ohio State's going to have to burn a timeout. McCord not completely 100%. Wisconsin trying to hold here in the 3rd. Well, when the night shift starts, the nightmare begins. 5 Nights at Freddy's, in theaters and streaming on Peacock now. We're monitoring starting quarterback Kyle McCord for Ohio State as they try to add to the lead. This is where we believe he got dinged up a little bit. He goes down on the 1st down run and then rolled up on there and was limping towards the sideline. He's back out there for 3rd down and 8. McCord feeling the pressure. Got it down.
That might be a fumble.
Wisconsin's going to jump on it.
They're ruling it incomplete. But that was very close, and McCord gets up limping again. He had to get rid of it because there was pressure coming from Darrell Peterson, and that was very close to being a lateral. And Kyle McCord is obviously in some discomfort right now.
And that's a major storyline. Without their normal backup quarterback, Devin Brown, it would be the 7th-year transfer from Oregon State, Tristan Gebbia, if he had to come in. And now, let's see, there's a flag down.
Well, now they're going to call intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding, offense, spot foul, loss of down. It will be 4th down.
Massive for the potential decision to maybe kick a long field goal or punt the ball. Terry, what'd you see on this play?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is clearly intentional grounding. Even though his arm gets hit as he's throwing it, there is nobody over there that he could possibly be throwing it to, no eligible receiver. So this is certainly intentional grounding.
And now McCord.
Terry, my question just was it close enough to even take a look if it was a backward pass or not?
I think they probably should. We need a really right down the line angle to prove one way or another.
Yeah.
But
the ball also got deflected.
It is worth a shot.
Yeah, I think the defender hit the ball as well.
So Mirko will punt it, try to pin Wisconsin deep. Fair catch called for and made at the 6-yard line as we head down the stretch in this 3rd quarter in a 7-point game. Aerial coverage brought to you by Ford. Close game down the stretch in this 3rd quarter, and Kyle McCord now being checked out.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously is not feeling good after this play, this scramble for a 1st down. And you could see when he threw this ball away, he got up limping even more. And remember, last week against Penn State, Devin Brown, who's the backup quarterback, they like to use him in the red zone goal line. He got hurt on a quarterback run. So the next guy up would be Tristan Gebbia, a transfer from Oregon State.
Oh, what a play in the backfield by Lathan Ransom.
Just timed this up perfectly. Here he comes, number 8. It's a run blitz. They're anticipating a safe, conservative play, and just an unblocked defender for a play behind the line of scrimmage.
Cade Yacomelli never had a chance getting out of that backfield. And now major danger zone with what this Ohio State front has been capable of all season, deep in your own territory. 2nd and 14.
Can't hold it very long.
Locke trying to get out of there, and just does. Tyleik Williams meets him with a bear hug.
Tyleik Williams read that all the way again. Ohio State expecting conservative play calling here. He just stood up his block. He used his hands, shed the block, and made the tackle on the quarterback draw.
Takes us to the 4th quarter. This place about to come alive in a 1-score game between Ohio State and Wisconsin. The Badgers have won 8 straight night games here at Camp Randall. The last loss, 2016, to the Buckeyes. 4th quarter next. Wisconsin hoping to create a house of pain for Ohio State as we start the 4th quarter. In a 1-score game, it's 3rd and 15. Locke gets rid of it. Complete over the middle. 1st down, Skylar Bell.
What a play. 2 conservative plays on 1st and 2nd. And then a big-time throw and catch on 3rd down out of his own end zone. And the effort by Skylar Bell to get the 1st down.
Remember, Bell had the touchdown taken off the board at the end of the 2nd quarter. Hancock's going to have to go out for a play after losing his helmet. But that is big-time moxie.
Oh, goodness.
And again, the 4th quarter, it seems like Braden Locke is at his best. Bell the motion man. Aker the handoff. Straight up the gut for 6.
Luke Fickell said all week that what he saw in the eyes and the faces of his players in the 4th quarter last week at Illinois is the first time he had seen that in the 10 months since he'd been there. The fight, the grit, the determination. They're going to need that same kind of fight and grit tonight in this 4th quarter. But what a couple plays they've just had.
They're going to have to do it with Braden Locke, transfer from Mississippi State, in just his 2nd career start, replacing the 5th-year senior Tanner Mordecai with a broken hand. Led them and a come-from-behind win last week against Illinois. And here's another first down carry for Jackson Aker.
Well, let's say something again for this offensive line of Wisconsin, a team that and a program that's always been known for having outstanding offensive line, getting a nice push on this star-studded front of Ohio State. They're playing shorthanded without their leading rusher, Braylon Allen, and still moving the football out from their own end zone.
Play action, Locke pulled it down initially and then just throws it away. That is what he is touted for. Braylon Locke, it's his processing ability. We asked him, where did that come from? He said, I'm just a football junkie.
Yeah.
If I'm not playing, I'm watching it. If I'm not watching it, I'm thinking about it. If I'm not thinking about it, I'm surrounding myself in it. As Lathan Ransom getting checked out on the Ohio State sideline. This is where that junkie comes alive.
Well, it sounds like he's been that way since he's been 3 or 4 years old.
Yep.
You know, just like used to go to sleep watching the replay of the Texas USC championship game.
Locke lofts, perfectly delivered. Bryson Green out of bounds for a first down.
And there is a small window in between the corner and safety. It's a cover 2. That means there's a little hole right between the corner and safety, and it gets the perfect throw on the 1 foot down by Bryson Green. What a drive. This did not look promising after 1st and 2nd down. And now they're out to the 50.
Handoff for Aker. Tough running, keeps the legs turning into Ohio State territory. Eichenberg, the first one to greet him. There is Braylon Allen, hurt towards the end of the 2nd quarter. Will not return to this game. Catherine Tappan had the story. So it's been a lot of Jackson Aker, redshirt sophomore from right here in Madison. Right back to him. Aker wrapped up, picks up 1.
A really nice play by Canoe, number 93. He's one of these extra defensive linemen. Here he is, number 93. He's a 3rd teamer, giving some of the other guys a blow. Does a beautiful job just fighting off the block of the right guard and making the play.
Big 3rd down here. 10th play of the drive for Wisconsin.
This tight end right here we thought was going to have a little bit more of a role. They haven't targeted him yet.
Locke fires, incomplete. Bell just could not control it, and it's 4th down.
This ball had a lot of mustard on it. It's a short throw from the right hash to the right sideline, and that ball was humming on a cold night, and Bell just not able to make the catch. He would have had to turn up field and get a couple more yards to convert the 3rd down anyway. That was a tough one to catch.
Meanwhile, Lathan Ransom's star safety for this Ohio State defense did go to the medical tent, so we'll keep an eye on that as Atticus Bertrams will come on for another punt, looking to pin the Buckeyes deep. Angles it. It'll bounce and die inside the 15 at the 14. We'll see what Kyle McCord looks like, hobbled on the last drive, as Ohio State's offense comes out next. Well, we weren't sure whether or not Kyle McCord was ready to go, but he's a tough kid.
Yep.
His teammates love him, and he was not going to miss a chance to go out and help win the game. Time now for a QB comparison brought to you by Target. Both of them have had bright spots today. Both have had lowlights, but overall have kept their teams in the right position.
Yeah, and for Braden Locke, I mean, maybe the best thing he's done all night is what he just did on the last drive. They didn't score. They're still down, but that drive started on the 1 yard line. He got a couple 3rd down conversions, got the ball out by midfield, and were able to flip the field with a punt, and now see if the defense can get him the ball back.
Pitch it for Henderson. Blockers in front. Henderson into the secondary. First down. Henderson still on his feet across the 40.
Really nice nice play call by Ryan Day. They have not shown this. All the outside runs, watch, these guys are all blocking inside, and they just outflanked the Wisconsin defense. Really good job. Beautiful play call by Ryan Day during that timeout. Most of the perimeter runs have been by Xavier Johnson, the wide receiver. This time they get Henderson out there for a big gain.
Goes for 30. He's got 122 yards in his return after not playing since week 4. Right back to the hot hand. And this time he's tripped up. John Meta got to him in a hurry.
Now, the last time that TreyVeon Henderson played, he had 104 yards at Notre Dame in that big win. This is his first action back, and you can see the difference he makes for this Ohio State offense. His big playability, but also just the threat of his big plays makes the defense really have to play honest. That looked like movement by the left tackle. Yep.
That is one of the most penalized offensive linemen in the country, Josh Simmons. Transfer from San Diego State.
False start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Definitely got a head start.
.24 penalties since the start of last year. See most among tackles. Pro Football Focus bringing all of our advanced stats. And that one critical as it makes it 2nd and 12. Rush is coming. McCord picks it up. Delivers to Harrison again.
Just too much cushion. I mean, you're going to bring pressure, so you're counting on getting there before he can throw the ball, but it's bail coverage, and that's just too easy. It looked like press, but it was bail coverage. It doesn't mean press coverage, he's going to stay right on the receiver. Bail coverage, he's turning and running deep, and that was an easy route and catch by Marvin Harrison, his 6th of the night.
So reliable on those long yard situations. Hand off Henderson. Oh, he's met. Runs into a brick wall. Bounce backward at the 41.
When you're talking about TreyVeon Henderson and Marvin Harrison Jr., you are talking about two of the best players at their position in all of college football on the same offense. You know, and Kyle McCord is a new starting quarterback who's getting better and better and more comfortable. But it is a tremendous luxury to have those two guys at their respective positions to get the ball to.
Already 30 yards above their rushing average coming into the game. McCord in trouble. He'll go down. Muma John Meta, the captain who lost his spot earlier this year. 2nd consecutive game. He's been a wrecker.
Yeah, watch McCord. He's looking this way. He wants to get the ball to the tight end, G. Scott, and he's covered. So when he tries to take off, he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage by John Meta. Good coverage, forcing the scramble, and then they get the sack.
Nice job there from McCord, keeping the football in his hands, but it sets up another 3rd down and long. Full rush, McCord just gets rid of it, incomplete. And the question was whether he was in the pocket, whether that got to the line of scrimmage, and if there was a receiver even close to the area.
Yeah, well, and see, that's when you pressure, that's what you need to do. You need to get to the quarterback, and they're going to call intentional grounding. You need to get there before he has time to get the ball to single coverage. Marvin Harrison had one-on-one, and he was open.
Offense, number 8. It'll be a loss of down at the spot of the foul. 4th down.
Yeah, he doesn't get out of the tackle box, so you can't just throw it away, and I'm not sure it even got to the line of scrimmage. He's clearly throwing it away. He has single coverage, and that's open. I mean, that's another touchdown if he can have enough time to get the ball to Harrison, but the pressure got there first.
2nd straight drive on 3rd and 8 that they force an intentional grounding from Kyle McCord, and now a punt on 4th and 19. So it completely, again, changes the trajectory of what the drive is going to look like. Murko just gets rid of it. Vinny Anthony calls for the fair catch, makes it at the 9.
Well, we saw this last week with Penn State. It was a one-score game, defense and field position, until Ohio State made it a two-possession game.
Tomorrow night, the Bears take on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC, Telemundo, and Peacock. Football Night in America. And then Mike, Chris, and Melissa with the call on NBC. All right, Braden Locke, here he comes. Last week at Illinois, the final 2 drives of the game led 2 touchdown drives, both of them touchdown throws, 84 yards, 50% completion percentage, but he was poised, found a way. Now it's for Ryan Day and his team. Similar to last week, you just mentioned it with the Penn State game. He said the emotional letdown, he was going to be looking at that for his team, but it feels eerily similar for the positions both of these teams were just a week ago.
Yeah.
And there's a flag. Talk about the composure in these types of moments.
Well, you just cannot have a negative play
Full
like
start.
this.
Offense, number 60. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Joe Huber, the Cincinnati transfer.
It's hard enough against this Ohio State defense, particularly in your own territory. They've only had 2 explosive plays. 1 run by Braden Locke, 1 pass completion to Bryson Green. There's the flinch by Joe Huber, the left guard, and now it's 1st and 15. Don't want to be behind the chains against this defense.
Oh, just barely escape it. It turns into a solid play for Jackson Aker.
Yeah, Tuimoloau was in the backfield. I mean, his quickness off the ball, we know he can do it as a pass rusher, but watch him chase this run down. They're trying to bring the tight end across to block him, and he's just not there quick enough. And JT almost blew that play up in the backfield.
Tucker Ashcraft, the freshman, also from Seattle, which is where JT Tuimoloau is from, Edgewood, Washington, just outside the city. So Seattle on Seattle, it ends up being a gain of 6. Now Locke to throw on 2nd down. In trouble, a little high and bobbled incomplete for Ashcraft. Let's go down to KT.
Well, Ohio State is without senior safety Latham Ransom. He went into the medical tent, had no weight on that left leg as he went in. He was in the tent for about 2.5 minutes, was taken off the field on a golf cart, and then transferred it to a wheelchair to enter the tunnel to go into the locker room, which is where he has been. We will await any further updates on him.
Thanks so much, KT. Someone who had a gruesome leg injury just a couple of years ago in the Rose Bowl. And that's him now coming out. He's not walking 100%, but great to see him on his feet and making his way back towards the sideline. Here's a 3rd and 9. Locke loads up a deep ball down the sideline. Incomplete. Bryson Green, the intended target.
And they picked on the wrong guy. I mean, Denzel Burke is their #1 cover guy. He did not play last week against Penn State. He's back, and this is an all-day deal trying to go against him. There's a lot of pushing and shoving by both guys, but Burke's able to kind of get up and get a hand on the football. You can say that he never looked back at the quarterback. He did hit him in the face, but there is no such thing as face guarding in college football, and he did get a hand on the ball.
So Bertram's from his own end zone is going to have to get a good one away. High, but short. And the fair catch called for and made by Ballard at the 45-yard line. Excellent field position for an Ohio State offense looking to put that final nail in the coffin. Here's a look at our playlist for tonight. Kyle McCord, 3 turnovers on the night, 2 interceptions after just 1 all season coming in. Had a fumble in the first quarter. As for Braden Locke, just his 2nd career start. This touchdown to Pauling tied the game at 10 to start this 3rd quarter. Since then, well, one team has Marvin Harrison Jr., who has continued to showcase his incredible skill. 2 touchdowns on the day and has put his team out in front. Now they have their best starting field position at the Wisconsin 45. And again, they're going to hand it off to Johnson around the edge. And Johnson pushed forward, picks up 9.
They have had great success running on the perimeter tonight. Wisconsin's defense has been very stout on the inside zone running, but outside, this is the 3rd or 4th time they've run this with Xavier Johnson, and then they've gotten TreyVeon Henderson out on the perimeter as well.
Gave him 10 in the first down. Johnson, 4 carries, 29 yards. Henderson, 128 yards in his return. And with all of this, Cade Stover still without a target here tonight. Henderson. Not a whole lot of running room. Tripped up.
You know, you mentioned this game felt eerily similar to last week for Ohio State with Penn State. Very much so. Last week, it was a defensive struggle, field position. Penn State had a 4th and 3 in their own territory. They elected to go for it and not punt with 7.5 minutes left. Ohio State stopped them, got a short field, and got a touchdown to make it a 2-score game, and it was essentially over. Well, they played field position here, short punt. Ohio State's got it, 1-score game. If they score again, it'll be just like a week ago against Penn State.
Henderson gets away. Henderson stays on his feet. There he goes. TreyVeon Henderson. Touchdown, Ohio State. 33 yards and a dagger.
Just beautiful blocking up front. I mean, just great blocking. Henderson pays it off, but watch the block here in the second level. Watch the right tackle, number 70, come over there, Josh Fryer. Watch these guys just blow a hole in the Wisconsin defense that has been very stout tonight. One missed tackle there at the end, and TreyVeon Henderson pays it off.
Fielding makes it 24-10. What did Ryan Day say to us? He said those 4- and 5-yard games, they're not breaking into big ones. Well, their home run hitter is back, and TreyVeon Henderson delivers a major run. 33-yard scamper extends this to a 2-possession game in Madison.
Back in Madison, how much did Ohio State miss TreyVeon Henderson? Well, tonight's the answer. 4 catches, 45 yards. And then the running game, all the questions about the lack of running game for Ohio State, not so much with this guy in the ball game. TreyVeon Henderson, 24 carries, 163 yards, and this dagger of a touchdown. Marvin Harrison and TreyVeon Henderson, 2 of the best in all of college football at their respective positions, and they have shown it tonight. They have carried this offensive football team, and they're balanced, right? Right now, Ohio State, 428 yards of offense, 202 yards passing, 26 passing, 202 rushing.
This will be a touchback, so 5:15 left here. There's still plenty of time if Wisconsin can get into a hurry-up mode. They've got this new air raid offense that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to chuck the ball all over the field, but it feels like now you've got to have the urgency. You've got your 3 timeouts, got to recognize the situation in front of you.
Yeah, now it's pass first and run only on occasion because you're 2 touchdowns down. And that puts even more burden on your offensive line and your backup tailback, Jackson Aker, as pass protectors. You got to find a way to get a couple chunk plays out of your passing game.
Braylon Allen hurt at the end of the second quarter, has not played in this second half, ruled out for the rest of the game. Aker is in there, Pauling in motion. Locke looking to escape, and he just gets armbarred backwards by Tyleik Williams. How strong is he up front?
A very powerful guy. I mean, he's very disruptive on the inside. He battled some weight issues earlier in his career, but he's playing at a very strong weight right now and just pushes the line back into the backfield and makes the play.
And again, it's this Ohio State defense that only gives up 10 points per game on average, one of the best marks in the country, continuing to dominate. Locke steps up, a fastball, and he just skips it in the direction of Green. 3rd and 13.
Well, even though this is technically what's called the air raid offense, this is not how this offense is built to play like this, drop back passing every down. I mean, they want to run the football, have balance, but at this point for Phil Longo, they just don't have that luxury now. No Braylon Allen, and down by 14 points. They've got to throw it just about every down. Ohio State will only rush 4 and play coverage.
Locke gets rid of it. Complete. Another first down. This time it's Pauling.
Very nice touch on that ball by Braden Locke. He had to get it over Tommy Eichenberg's hand. It was zone coverage. The linebackers took deep drops, and Locke dropped that right over the top of Tommy Eichenberg for the completion.
First set of downs. Right back to the air. Dangerous throw, and it's dropped by Williams.
I think Williams dropped the ball because of the flash of Jordan Hancock right in front of him. Jordan Hancock read this and made a break on the football, and I think his body flying in front of the receiver distracted him, and he didn't make the catch.
4:06 to play. 3 timeouts for Wisconsin. They've got to move quickly. Lock in the pocket, dumps it down Akers. And lowers the shoulder and gets a few extra yards, getting close towards midfield at the 44. Quickly back to the line.
Again, Ohio State is content to give underneath passes. They don't need to blitz here.
Block rips it. Aker, first down out of bounds.
The luxury of this Ohio State defense is their front four is good enough to create pressure on the quarterback that they don't have to commit extra bodies to the rush. If you rush 4 and can get to the quarterback, that gives you 7 guys that you can use in coverage.
Deep drop, unloads, and incomplete. That one was dropped along the sideline by Bell.
One thing in watching film of this Wisconsin offense, they haven't hit deep throws, and Phil Longo's offenses at North Carolina, Ole Miss, they had a lot of deep throws off of play action every year. This year they have not gotten that, but I think also this Wisconsin receiving corps, too many drop passes. I mean, and that showed up all through their first 7 games as well.
Let's not forget that Ohio State's one of the best at limiting explosive plays, have not allowed a play to 40 or more yards this year. Locke feeling the pressure, gets away. Locke on the run, incomplete.
Good job by Locke avoiding the pressure and at least having a chance to make the throw and not taking a sack. But just ran out of room on the sideline there. And again, that's a 3-man rush that forced him to leave the pocket. That just shows you the skill set of Tui Moloau and Jack Sawyer on the outside, and Michael Hall Jr. rushing from the nose guard position.
Ohio State in prime position, just trying to hang on here. One of many Big Ten powers that had a tough game here today on this Saturday. And that incompletion in the direction of Pauling will set up 4th down. Tenth play of the drive. Game on the line for Braden Locke, the redshirt freshman, making his 2nd career start. Kyle McCord, 2 touchdowns here tonight. And Ryan Day is going to take a timeout.
Timeout. Ohio State. It's their 2nd of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
All right, so we look at this Ohio State team. Certainly you get this final stop, this game's over. You're going to go to 8-0 once again under Ryan Day and his continued success. But they didn't even have Emeka Egbuka play in this game. He was available for them. He didn't even play in this game.
No.
You got Henderson back. You got Denzel Burke back. Both of those missed last week against Penn State. Can you imagine when Egbuka is fully healthy, you've got Marvin Harrison on the other side, moving him all around. He's had to play different positions as a result. And Emeka Egbuka, who made clutch grab after clutch grab after clutch grab against Notre Dame. Think about what this offense could look like paired with the defense they've played all year.
And Cade Stover never had a ball thrown at him tonight.
Crazy.
Yeah, so this is a team that is going to continue to get better as they get some of their stars back.
Here it is, 4th down and 10, 4th in the ball game for the Badgers. Locke gonna have to get it done. Cannot, knocked away by Sonny Styles, and Ohio State will coast here in Madison.
Styles is in there because of the injury to Ransom, playing the deep safety. Nice, great break on the football. He's such a rangy athlete at 6'4", 230. But Ohio State's defense continues its dominant play, rushing the quarterback, making the quarterback uncomfortable, stuffing the run, the shovel pass on the goal line stand in the first half. Blitzing, just firing on all cylinders. It's a defense that has gotten better in their second year under Jim Knowles. They're better at making in-game adjustments, and the numbers speak for themselves. And here's another team in Wisconsin that's held to under 250 yards of total offense.
Couple of first downs ends the game. Train on the running back and trying to weave his way through. Met after he picks up one by John Meta and company.
Interesting day in the Big Ten. You know,
Very
Penn
much so.
State at home struggled with Indiana, had to score late to put that one away. Ohio State with their hands full here. Maryland went to Northwestern and got upset. 4-4 for the Wildcats. David Braun is the interim coach, doing a whale of a job there. Nebraska with another win, a close one over Purdue.
Puts them one win away from bowl eligibility in year one under Matt Rule. That's exactly where Wisconsin is year one under Luke Fickell. Pitch it for Trainum. Evades. Trainum got to stay in bounds, and he does.
And a good move by him to do that.
Jackman comes up to help make the play. And let's see if Wisconsin will take their first timeout. They will.
The first and a half. 30 seconds. Wait.
So we look forward here. Next week, Peacock and NBC. We start 3:30 Eastern on Peacock. And our upcoming schedule presented by Discover, Iowa and Northwestern. That's from Wrigley Field. That's gonna be awesome to see a game at Wrigley Field between those two. Northwestern, as Todd mentioned, coming off the big win. Iowa after the loss last week in dramatic fashion in Minnesota. And then College Countdown begins at 7. We've got Purdue in Ann Arbor taking on the number 2 team in the country. 7:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff on NBC and Peacock. Of course, the collision course at the end of the year between Ohio State and Michigan, the final week of the season. Michigan still has to play Penn State as well, but Ohio State, every test that they've been given, they have passed. Look like they are well on their way here to an 8-0 start. They'll hand it off to Trainum on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th and long, and likely a punt after Getz adds another tackle. Wisconsin will take another timeout with 2:03 remaining.
Timeout. Wisconsin. It's the 3rd and final charge. It'll be 30 seconds. Wait.
Well, you know, this is an impressive win for Ohio State because Wisconsin was ready to play. They did play off of that momentum they got a week ago in the win against Illinois. And Ohio State knew, Ryan Day and all the coaches knew this was going to be tough. It's going to be a great environment. They're well coached, Wisconsin. They're tough. They have respect for Luke Fickell and his staff. And they came in here and had to win a tough football game. And having TreyVeon Henderson back makes a huge difference for this Buckeye team going forward. As we look at Wisconsin potentially losing Braylon Allen for the foreseeable future with an injury, Ohio State gets their best guy back in the backfield. It looks very promising.
Also the first time all season that the Buckeyes had to see how they respond when Kyle McCord turned the ball over a couple of times. Had just 1 interception all year, threw 2 of them, and lost a fumble here tonight. As the fair catch made by Vinny Anthony at the 11-yard line after a 37-yard punt from Mirko. So 1:58 to play here. 1 timeout left for Wisconsin, 1 timeout left for Ohio State. Locke will stay in there and see if they can cook up some magic here at home. Stranger things have happened, certainly in the Big Ten, certainly in this stadium. But it looks like, at least for the time being, that 8-game night winning streak at Camp Randall could be coming to the close for the same team that they had lost to the last time in 2016, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Well, and once again, I mean, we've talked all night about this Ohio State defense, and the thing that they've done the best of everything all year is limit the big plays, the explosive plays, runs of 10 yards or more, passes of 20 yards or more. They've done it again tonight.
Anthony over the middle for a first down. Clock will pause here with under 2 minutes remaining, so 1:50. They'll get up to the line quickly and try to go.
It's very difficult to win in college football if you don't generate explosive plays. And Ohio State has done a great job of not allowing that. They'll give you short completions. They don't miss many tackles. They rank very high in terms of fewest missed tackles in college football. They keep everything in front. And they don't give up easy plays down the field.
1:40 left for a 2nd and 10. Locke feeling the pressure and batted down. Oh, and then caught back by Locke. He's just going to head for the sideline. Probably better off if he just let it fall. Always love the pass to yourself. You ever do that, Todd?
No, I never did.
You think it was your catchability or
I never
your accuracy?
It was fast enough to get to the sideline.
Nice.
So I just let it hit the ground.
Sets up 3rd down and 11. Dump it, Aker. And he'll get out of bounds, but make it 4th and 7 or 8. Experience-wise for Braden Locke, came in the Iowa game a couple weeks ago. He said that was baptism by fire. He felt baptized after the game. He just wasn't quite prepared to the level that he anticipated for himself, and then got the week of preparation leading into the game last week against Illinois. Felt a lot more comfortable. See how he does here on 4th down and 9 as he steps into one. Nearly intercepted out of the hands of Josh Proctor. Turn it right back to the Buckeyes with 1:23 to play and a chance to kneel this victory in their favor. But for Locke overall, the experience he's gained these last 2.5 weeks, just moving forward for their program as a redshirt freshman, you see the flashes. You see the flashes of really good play out of him, and it feels like the more experience he gets against teams of this caliber, it's only going to benefit him moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's getting valuable experience. Now, you know, the 2 games that he played with that they lost were against 2 outstanding defenses, Iowa on the road and then this Ohio State defense. Now, the good news for Wisconsin is they may, in fact, get Tanner Mordecai back before this season is over, the starter who transferred from SMU. But the biggest news is the extent of the injury to Braylon Allen for Wisconsin going forward, because he is clearly their biggest weapon on offense.
Wisconsin entered the day #1 in the Big Ten West. They will absolutely still be in play the rest of this season, but there's Braylon Allen, and he just means so much to what this offense is capable of. One of the best running backs in the conference, and at this point in the country, the remaining schedule is fairly favorable for Wisconsin. These are winnable games for the Badgers to finish off in year 1 under Luke Fickell. They dropped to 5-3 today, but they've got a chance to have a really successful year and build now for what this program is going to look like moving forward, as McCord takes one final knee, and that'll bring us to the finale of this game. Ohio State continues a balanced effort and improves to 8-0 on the season. A 24-10 victory here at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison, as Ryan Day and company stay in the hunt for their college football lives. As we tick down to 000s, we go downstairs. Catherine Tappan with Ryan Day.
All right, thanks so much. Coach, you guys are finding ways to win games in so many different ways. The defense, again, the storyline tonight. How much better are they getting every single week?
I think they're growing, and certainly at the end of the first half, that was a big-time stand. And then, you know, we wanted to win the first 3 minutes of the second half. We didn't do that, but we did turn around there. You know, the play started getting loud, and we were able to turn the momentum of the game and finish it off. You know, still a lot of great things out there on the field, but still a lot of things we can get better at.
TreyVeon Henderson back in the lineup after missing the last 3 games. He had a big touchdown, a number of key plays in this one. How much better does he make your offense? So much explosiveness that he brings to the table. And, you know, when he's out there and he's at full go, you know, he's a difference maker. And, you know, we decided to hold the Mecca. You know, he was really close, but we're looking forward to getting him back. And then you got Trey back, and, you know, hopefully we can take the next step as an offense next week. I know that other guy, Marvin Harrison Jr., 2 touchdowns in this game. Are you getting tired of answering questions about him, Coach, after games? My goodness.
No, I think he's the best player in the country. You know, it's hard because, you know, they put so much attention to him, but he just continues to make plays.
Coach, thanks so much. Congratulations.
All right, thanks.
All right, KT, you heard the main word for TreyVeon Henderson, explosive. That was what we heard from Kyle McCord. That was what we heard from his coaching staff, and I think you see it. Braylon Allen, again, that's going to be one of the main storylines moving forward for this team in Wisconsin, as we go right back down to Catherine with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes, indeed. Marvin, congratulations. A big victory to improve to 8-0. 2 touchdowns for you in this game. What was working well for you in this one? It seemed like in the beginning maybe they had your number a little bit. How'd you break free?
A team effort, honestly. The coaches did a good job putting me in the right positions. And then the O-line did their job, too, up front. And Kyle gave me the ball. And then, we had a big help from Trey today. It's great having him back.
Yeah, it is great having him back. What difference does that do for you when TreyVeon's back in the lineup?
He's an explosive player. I mean, he has a chance to take the ball to a touchdown anytime he touches the ball. So we have that kind of dynamic player in the offense. It definitely changes everything for the defense.
We saw 2 interceptions from Kyle McCord, but then he came back out in the second half and was battling, clearly struggling with a little bit of an injury there. What can you say about the performance of your quarterback in this game?
He's resilient. That's what I see from him every day since high school days. He never gets too down on himself. He has some great guys around him who are always going to pick him up, and he's going to continue to fight.
Marvin, congratulations. Thanks so much for the time.
Appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
All right, KT. So it's funny because you always hear this adage, it's great when your leaders are your best players and your best players are your leaders. And I'm not saying that Marvin Harrison Jr. is super vocal, but every time you talk to him, he's always giving credit to the rest of his team.
Yeah, and I agree with his coach. I think he's the best player in college football, and he has such a dynamic impact on the game, and it's just a matter of time before he does that. And he's right about TreyVeon Henderson because that makes this a different football team. Kyle McCord was not at his best today. The passing game has been kind of carrying the running game offensively. Today it was the opposite. Today the running game kind of carried the day with TreyVeon Henderson. The defense solid as usual. So this is an Ohio State team that is going to get better as they get Ibuka back and they continue to grow and McCord gets more playing experience. They are going to be a team that's going to be making a run for the whole thing.
So you just brought it up, though, that the whole Kyle McCord thing, we had seen him just throw 1 interception. And that was week 1. He throws 2, and he loses a fumble in the first half. It felt like he really handled himself well through the adversity.
I mean, hey, if you play the position, those things happen, right? You're not going to go 600 passes in a row without an interception. They happen, You got to flush it and go out for the next series, And he made plenty of good plays as well, got the ball to his playmakers. So, those things happen. You deal with them, you learn from them, and you go out and play the next play.
TreyVeon Henderson, one of the stars of the game, and Catherine caught up with him just moments ago.
TreyVeon, congratulations on the win and getting back in the lineup. After missing the last 3 games, how did it feel for you out there, the injury and just the pace of play?
It felt great, man. It's a blessing to be able to get back out here. I took a cheap shot at the beginning of the Notre Dame game, but God healed me and allowed me to get back here, man. I'm just so thankful, so thankful.
Yeah, coming into this game, was there any hesitation for you as far as what you were expecting to feel in this one?
Nah, man, I just trusted God. He gave me the strength to come out here and give it everything I got, man.
And when you're playing in an offense that includes Marvin Harrison Jr., how much better does that make you in the offensive system?
I mean, it makes a lot of us better. I mean, we got weapons all across the board, so it makes everyone better.
Certainly helps when the defense is playing as well as they are as well, huh?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. The defense has been a huge help, and they've been grinding, they've been working. We all been working, so got to keep working, though.
TreyVeon, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Well, TreyVeon Henderson was the guy today, along with Marvin Harrison. 24 carries, 163 yards, 4 catches out of the backfield. And like Marvin said, he is a guy that every time he touches the ball, he could go for a big play. He's the home run hitter that this offense has missed for the last 3 games. And with him in the lineup, it opens up a lot of things for a lot of other people and makes Ohio State that much better of a football team.
Again, you mentioned it. Ibuka didn't even play today. Cade Stover wasn't even targeted one time.
Once.
We're talking about a guy who's top 5 in the conference in receiving yards at the tight end position. He's been spectacular. We look ahead to next week. So we see one of the powers in the Big Ten East today. We're going to see another power in the Big Ten East next week in Michigan in Ann Arbor. The week off this week, they've got a lot of stuff, let's call it, going on with their program right now. Doesn't take away from the fact that they are really good.
They're really good. They're really talented on both sides of the ball. Great depth on both sides of the ball. But they are young people, and you got to wonder, all this noise in the system, what kind of an effect, if any, does it have as this season goes on to where it's really critical in the month of November?
Very unselfish team, very balanced team. They play so many different guys. It's exciting to see how they keep somehow getting better and cleaner with each week that they've played. It'll be interesting, as Todd said, how they respond to all the controversy that has surrounded their program so far. We see Ohio State this week. They take care of business. We'll see if Michigan can do the same thing next week in Ann Arbor as they take on Purdue. We appreciate you for joining us here tonight. Don't forget and don't miss an all-new Saturday Night Live tonight, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, featuring host Nate Bargatze and musical guest Foo Fighters. Next Saturday, our college football coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern when Iowa takes on Northwestern, exclusively on Peacock from Wrigley Field. Then Purdue takes on Michigan in prime time. Pre-game coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. For Catherine Tappan, Todd Blackledge, Terry McCauley, Matt Marvin, Charlie Danmeyer, our entire NBC crew, I'm No Eagle saying so long from Madison.